Entonces, pues imagínate la ventaja que te da con el otro, por eso la compré. Un compa que juega tenis la usa.
¿Y cuándo las vendes?
Las vendo a $25. Un compa que juega tenis la usa. Y ya es cuando juegas que te duele el codo, te ayuda con tenis negros. No,
cualquiera clase de cosas.
No, tiene, o sea, por ejemplo, si agarras cualquier otra pulsera, lo haces desatar. Esta es la nueva versión. La otra tenía como que un cuadro aquí. No sé qué tiene adentro, no sé qué tiene adentro. Pero ya esta es la nueva, es la más nueva versión. Pero tienen un imán, güey, y tienen no sé qué funcionar. Pero o sea, con el examen eso
No,
te das cuenta.
esta no es para eso de balance, es para artritis y te ayuda con todo.
Y pues esto es para el deporte, güey. ¿Van a pagar 20 bolas?
You guys ready? Yes,
sir.
Owen, pick a number 1 or 2. Number's 1.
And we are back live from the Tucson Racket and Fitness Club, Tucson, Arizona, for the men's final of the Echelon WPH Fireball Handball Classic alongside Desi Keegan and Dave Fink. My name is Dave Vincent. Referee in this match is Luis Moreno. First serve going to Dublin, Ireland's Owen Kennedy, serving up against Dave Chapman. Like we said, guys, this is the men's finals. Here's the serve. Wow, first shot.
Desi, that's the kind of shot right there. I don't think Owen's used to seeing, and I think that's why you're playing Dave Chapman for the first time. I think in 5 or 6 years, it's a very difficult adjustment.
Yeah, it is going to be tough for Owen, but Owen knows what he needs to do. He needs to absolutely dominate Dave from the start. But Tony Healy's very good at dumb shots as well, so Owen has a lot of experience with that. But I think Owen's game plan is to attack David from the start like this, exactly like that, to get Dave out of his defensive game.
You know, you just brought up a good point that we didn't bring up yesterday, and that's the fact that Owen has played Tony Healy a lot, and they do have similar styles, don't they?
Oh, absolutely.
Dave Chapman and Owen and Tony Healy?
Absolutely, yeah, big time.
Also, Mr. Fink, you saw Owen step in on that underhand throw-in serve from Dave Chapman. I don't see a lot of pros do that.
Dave's going to encourage that. He wants that to happen. I don't think he thinks that Owen will be able to hit a consistently good shot from that kind of position. And Dave will vary the spin and the speed on that serve to force Owen to back up and take balls off his back foot and coming back. You know, Dave, we've seen a lot of Dave Chapman play in the finals of tournaments, which is generally his 4th round. We've seen him look pretty fatigued. His legs look pretty tight. Right now, he looks really fresh. That's not a good sign for Owen.
Yeah, I have to admit, like, this is probably the freshest I've seen David Chapman, and I know it's only a couple of points into it, but Owen looks pretty nervous. I thought he needs to get off to a very good start, so.
That was the sloppy shot from Dave. Look at that one, though.
Dave's completely in his comfort zone here. I mean, this is a pro step final. You can see Owen's a little bit tense. Dave could not be more relaxed. The bigger the stakes, the more relaxed Dave is.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I can see that already. Like, Owen looks a bit nervous, to be honest with you, but hopefully he'll start getting into it a bit. But he needs to get into it very, very early, because Chapman, he will absolutely annihilate anybody.
See Dave Chapman wearing those hiking shorts. Looks like he was up at Mount Lemmon yesterday. Dave's got the shots today, Desi.
Yeah,
I'll tell you, Desi, a lot of these shots that Owen's hitting now were very effective yesterday and also in his match against Luis. But against Dave, he's able to take those balls that Owen hits right at him and just redirect him into the corners with that paddle shot.
Yeah, like even Alan Gardner yesterday wasn't punishing Owen immediately, whereas David already is punishing him. He knows, Chapman knows this is Owen's probably first pro stop final, like, so he knows Owen is anxious, and what he's trying to do is force the game immediately on Owen.
Listen for the score here.
0-5.
0-5.
I really believe, Desi, that the 2-wall shot against Dave Chapman is probably the worst shot you can hit against him. I know you've played Dave quite a bit, but he's able to take that ball either off the side wall and roll it out, or he's able to just back up and hit a really effective defensive shot with those. There's a miss hit there from Dave. That's a nice shot there from Owen.
The thing what I'd like to see Owen doing if this game progresses and it starts getting tight is, I know he killed that one off the back up. He needs to fly that first shot though. Because if Dave starts getting back into the centre of the court, he's really, really dangerous.
Score is 1 serves 5.
That's really the key against Davis. That first strike against Davis. If you can hit a good serve, get him to give you anything up there in the front court, you've got to attack it with him behind you. Once he gets in front of you, it's very difficult to end the rallies.
You saw Owen right there paddle a left-handed shot down
I
that
actually
left
thought
wall.
that was Dave that hit that. I turned away for a second, saw that paddle. That's Dave's shot, but Owen's got it too. I saw Owen hit that shot in his first round against Billy, and I said, wow, this guy can play.
2 serves 5.
Certainly he can play. He's one of the best in the world.
And you only figured that out Tuesday, was it, or Wednesday?
I'll tell you, Desi, this is the best I've seen Owen look. I watched Owen at the World Championships, also at the Casey Lawler Cup in 2008. He was successful there at the Casey Lawler Cup, but I just feel like he's hitting the ball a lot cleaner right now. Just in my opinion.
Did you see Dave load up on that last shot right there? Wanted a little extra 5 miles per hour and punched it. Back to your thought on Owen Kennedy's play here.
Yeah, I think like Owen is going to attack. He is going to attack. He has that. That's the serve. That's the shot he has to do there. He has to keep Dave away from that centre court. We talked about the game there this morning, and that's the general consensus is attack. And what you'll find with Owen earlier on, he done that paddle shot into the left corner. What he'll start doing later on, hopefully he'll start breaking it behind Dave, get Dave out of the centre of the court. I think that's the main objective, and hopefully from there he'll do well.
Like Owen's serve a lot right now, does he? That's
Great
a beautiful
Great shot.
first strike right there. Great slider down that right wall. He actually had Dave off balance, leaning left. He got the setup and he took care of it. That was a beautiful corner kill there. Love the way Owen pinches that right corner, does he?
Yeah, like he just opened the hand out flat. That's a bad serve there. He opened the hand out and it just kind of skims into the corner. Pat Kirby had talked to Owen a lot about that shot in the lead up to this game and the games yesterday. He had spoke to myself and Owen, but more so Owen because Owen was still in the tournament. He said, listen, Owen, keep going for the corners because whatever it is, American players seem to struggle with the underhand Irish whip type of thing and they can't really see where we're going with it. And if it goes into the corners, you're kind of losing that split second. So I think he's going to be going for the corners a lot.
The score here is 5-3. You guys saw that
shot there, Desi. He takes that ball from 1 inch from the right side wall and hits it right back to the same spot with the reverse.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an amazing shot. Like.
You see that Dave changed his serve here. Going overhand now. 6-3 is a score.
Well, both these guys are so methodical. They'll constantly work on different serves and different strategies. There's that play from Dave where he makes no effort. That worked well for you in the one wall, Desi. I was watching you play about an hour ago. That's a perfect shot in one wall. In four wall, it's not too well appreciated by your opponent.
I think that you see the way Dave blocked Owen there. I mean, the last thing you want to do with Owen Kennedy is get him irritated because if he gets irritated, he's going to start trying harder.
Well, let's talk about that block right there. Owen's upset about it, but if Dave rotates off to the right really quick and runs into Owen, there's a collision. I don't know where Dave goes on that.
I disagree with you. Dave's got to move to his right there. Dave had plenty of opportunity there to get out of the way.
He did. I felt he did. And he knew he'd played a bad shot, and he kind of stayed exactly where he was. But a bit disappointed to see Owen hit that shot there, because he needs, at this early stage of the game, he needs to be getting them shots.
Score is 7-3.
There's a mistake there.
See, I think Owen realises that he cannot go into a defensive battle with David Chapman because you're just going to get slaughtered. Like, see that shot there? Like, Owen is really struggling to get that out. Great shot.
He had that right corner, though, straight down the right lane.
Has Dave under pressure now.
That's going to make it.
That's exactly what Dave wants there.
Yeah,
a 20-shot rally that he completely controlled. Owen, a lot of back and forth there.
I think what Owen needs to do is copy Paul Brady. Paul Brady, the first chance, gone. The rally is over. Owen, just took a quick look at him there. You know, he's super fit, but he cannot get into really long rallies because my opinion is after a long tournament, he only came Monday night, he will get really tired come the second game, and Chapman looks very, very strong at the moment.
Here's a setup.
Miss hit. Look at that control. A little too strong, though.
But he's making Owen work, so that's what he wants.
That's a good shot there from Owen.
But Owen,
You're right. Owen did get that shot, but he had to go back and forth about 5 or 6 times.
He needs to. He can't let that happen. He needs to finish it immediately, like, because.
Listen for the score. 3 serves 8.
3-8. Like, he needs to punish the game immediately. You've seen Paul Brady in the US Nationals. He absolutely destroyed David. Even though Chapman was tired, we all know he was tired, but even if he wasn't, Paul is going to go at him like an animal. And
Paul showed me some shots in that match I didn't know he had. They were incredible. He had the paddle fly kills.
Yep.
He really had the total package. Incredible play.
That's what he was doing. He was cutting off the ball. So, good serve.
Excellent serve. That's a nice return there from
Brilliant.
Dave.
Brilliant return, yeah.
That's a rare mistake there.
Great chance now. He needs to put them away.
Look at that defensive, down on the knees and then back to the ceiling. Anybody else do a rally like that, Desi?
I never see anyone doing that. It's a crazy thing to do, because I dived in that court playing David the other day and I cut my bloody knee. Like, I don't know how he does that. Like, it doesn't hurt. Maybe that's why he wears them long shorts, maybe. But
it's very much like Tony Healy in a lot of ways. Their style of diving, you know, kind of creative divers.
yeah, absolutely. It's kind of completely controlled. Just get down on the floor and then worry about your shot.
Look at that wrinkle that Dave put on that ball.
There's that sort of cut slice shot there from Dave that resets the rally. You know, Desi, you played Dave. He'll never give you a ball that just really sits up off the sidewall. Anytime you do have a setup, the ball is coming at you, and it's generally at about chest height. So you're trying to constantly shoot the ball from up around your chest or shoulder.
Yeah.
That time Owen gets a setup right around his waist where he wants it. But
Hey, Dave, is Chapman missing that little paddle shot down the right wall right now? He's a little too high on the front wall. It's catching the right side, checking up. Owen's punished him 3 times in a row on
he's
that
hitting
shot.
a little bit softer than I think he should be hitting it. I've seen him hit that hard paddle kill where he'll hit that ball with some pace.
I think as well that maybe perhaps earlier on in the tournament that great get.
Nice get from Owen Kennedy.
Owen needs to take a timeout after this because he's looking tired.
Wow.
Let's see what he does. Owen might take a timeout here.
Dave went for my favorite shot in handball, which is the fly kill off the back wall, front wall retrieve. He didn't hit that one well, but he hit it well enough to set up the rest of that rally.
Score is 8-4.
Mistake there from Owen.
He might get saved with the ball. He was lucky there. Good shot.
Well, all of Owen's mistakes are actually turned out pretty good for him. Getting close to the side wall.
I thought that was a screen there. Owen is controlling it well into the roof, in fairness. Needs to punish this.
Nice shot.
That's it.
You know, the strength of Owen's game are those sort of kill passes he hits straight down the walls. He hits them about a foot high. Right now, he's not able to keep that ball down the wall. He's either popping the ball into the wall or the ball's, you know, bouncing into the wall and coming back out. He needs to be able to straighten those balls out down the wall.
The whole objective that Owen needs to do today is keep the ball away from David. Keep David working. Because I think as well, and I suffer from this as well, is that, you know, in Paul Brady, Tony Healy play over here, they take towel breaks, they take timeouts, whereas Owen and myself, you know, we're not here that much. So we kind of play the game really innocently, like, you know. So when Owen was tired in the last rally there, instead of taking a timeout, he should have maybe just wiped the floor, slowed it down, get his breath back, you know. But he's trying to, you know, play too innocent at times, you know.
The score is 4-8. There's a Short serve from Owen Kennedy. This is the first game. You're watching the WPH Echelon Handball Fireball Classic, Tucson, Arizona. Dave
That's
Chapman
not a good
versus
serve
Owen
there,
Kennedy.
Dave.
Good shot.
Excellent. There's the setup. He
Dave
didn't read that hop there.
He put great spin on it. Owen is working very, very hard. Now he has a chance, right corner. He needs to start putting them away. He has to start putting them away because Chapman will play all day like that.
Looked like Owen was a little indecisive there. He had that setup with Dave on his left, and looked like he tried to go behind him there. Didn't really need to fool Dave there. He could have gone straight down the right.
I think you know, mentally when you're playing David Chapman, you know that if the ball comes up at all, he's just going to kill it on you. So there's always that added bit of pressure when you're playing David Chapman.
That's going to make it.
Oh. I actually would like to see Owen take a timeout here and just come out, let Pat Kirby say a couple of things, and just to settle himself, like, because he's not playing as well as he did yesterday.
Speaking of Pat Kirby, we are going to be able to get him on the live webcast here between games, so we'll be able to talk to him. You heard the score.
That's a good shot there.
That's a great shot. He's unbelievable control.
That's a good defensive ceiling. Dave Chapman's just controlling the flow right now. Here it is. That's a setup.
You see Owen's hitting that ball behind him off the back wall.
Yeah, you see, the problem with the American ball is that we're used to going back for the Irish ball, whereas the American ball comes right out at you, so Owen had gone up too far.
Boy, Dave Chapman is watching every little moment right there from Owen Kennedy. Now a round of applause from the crowd here who appreciates these long rallies.
But I don't think Owen appreciates them.
Absolutely not.
Dave's calmness really allows him to maintain his stamina throughout matches and tournaments. He doesn't get himself anxious. And as you know, Desi, the more anxious you are, the more nervous energy you bring to the court, the sooner you're going to be tired.
Absolutely, and I think as well, you know, from a player's perspective, when you look back at Chapman, he's completely cool, which kind of adds more to your nervous, you know, you're going to get more nervous looking at him. So, but I mean, to be honest with you, the way I'm looking at this game so far is that David Chapman has dominated the opening of the season, but yet he's only, what, is it 8-5?
Second serve.
Yeah.
That's a good sign
you know,
for Owen.
like that's, you know, Owen hasn't actually opened up yet, and he's still very, very much in the game, so it's a good sign.
Well, it's very early on here. That's why we play 3 games, best 2 out of 3.
Well, that's another important point as well. I know it's a tournament, but in Ireland, our third games go to 21, so Irish players have a tendency to play for a lot longer, like, you know.
Right.
So Owen has a lot of mileage in his legs, so he wouldn't be afraid of going to 3 games, no problem at all.
Score is 8-5. Dave Chapman changing up his serve here.
I haven't seen Dave as precise off the back wall as he normally is. He hasn't missed any, but he also hasn't ended as many rallies as...
But Dave, his ceiling game is really good,
Well,
but his paddle shot up front isn't very good.
You see that right there? That's a ball that if Dave's really in his groove, he'll put away. It's a nice shot there from Dave. I'm surprised Owen didn't move sooner because Dave was set up into that left corner.
Yeah. Like, I mean, see, the problem with Chapman, he just twists his hand, he put it back down the left. So, again, I think it all comes down to the fact that Owen isn't in America enough. Like, if he had played Chapman, say, if the regular Pro Tour was on, if he played Chapman 3-4 weeks ago, he'd be a lot more confident today, he'd have better game plans. It's very, very difficult to come in and play him when you're not used to playing him.
Look at that shot right there.
Great shot.
That's
See,
impossible. And there's a timeout called from Owen Kennedy. You're watching the WPH Echelon Handball Fireball Classic with Dave Chapman scoring a couple points there. Now making it 10-5. This is the first game of the men's finals. In the booth here, we have Dave Fink, Desi Keegan, yours truly, Dave Vincent. We appreciate the fact that you are watching this live webcast. Also, please, if you have people around you that are handball players or fans of these athletes, purchase your WPH membership at WPHpass.com. That's www.WPHpass.com. You get tips from the pros, DVDs, unlimited video viewing from our server where we've uploaded over 200 hours of WPH-produced videos, all for your pleasure. And then we also have live webcasting, online magazine viewing, and so much more. It's all there with the membership purchase at WPHpass.com. My two fellow announcers here both have their memberships, and you guys are constantly watching those DVDs and trying to improve your game, even though you're both in the top 10 in the world.
Well, the thing with handball, Dave, is that you always have room to improve. So I always, one thing that I do find myself is that I kind of went there for a couple of years. I was kind of watching too much handball in terms of, I was looking at a couple of players and I was trying to adopt some of their styles, and I end up confusing myself even more. So I think sometimes it's no harm just to develop your own game style and just look at tactics more than kind of swings and shots, like, you know.
That's why a lot of players won't watch so much handball during a tournament while they're still in the event. You sort of lose track of your own handball personality.
The score is 11-5. I don't know if you're keeping track, but Owen called a timeout and Dave scored the next point.
I actually have decided my sample size was the right size. I had 25 samples. I felt like that was an appropriate number to make a determination that the timeout after losing several points in a row is completely ineffective. The returner comes back in. The person that called the timeout loses 75% of the points. So you're actually much better off not calling a timeout.
That was a nice aggressive shot from Owen.
Yeah, those stats will be uploaded to the message board.
Look at that shot right there from Owen Kennedy. He had a whole different vibe about himself during that set. Now he's just kind of
he's struggling because he actually mishit that one, Dave.
Yeah, he did. He hit it with the left fist. It hit him kind of in the knuckle there, so that's why he was laughing at. But he'll take it. He'll take it.
He was trying to hit that ball down the right. He just wasn't trying to hit it that low.
It still had a different vibe about his actions there. He was very aggressive, controlling the play.
I like the way Owen is open up here now, but he's beginning to attack a bit more.
I like that shot there from Owen. Now look for the fly kill.
Yeah, he's attacking.
Okay.
Oh.
That's a very tough ball to fly kill with your right hand, Desi, because it's coming off that left wall and it's coming across your body.
His feet weren't facing the right side wall. His footwork was kind of wrong there because he'd no choice but to stand that way. So
it's almost easier to take that ball with your left when that ball is coming into your body.
And go straight down the left. Another chance. I think Owen is going to have a few blisters this evening on his feet.
Nice shot there from Owen. Beautiful. Dave missed his paddle kill, and Owen came in and took care of the mistake.
Anytime I'm watching Owen, anytime I see him clenching his fist down by his side there, it means he knows himself. He has to up it.
6 serves 11.
6 serves 11.
He really needs to get a few points here to keep in the match.
Oh, look at that shot right there. It's just so precise. Hey, Dave Fink, now you've played and watched Dave Chapman for years now, and you've also talked strategy with him. He's not affected by a power serve. In fact, he said he actually enjoys it and would rather have it.
The only time Dave's affected by the power serve is when he's lost his legs. But if Dave is fresh, the power serve is very ineffective unless you're able to slide that ball right on the wall or, crack that ball out when he's not expecting it.
Oh, nice shot from Owen Kennedy, and we picked that one up right off the back wall. Left-handed kill, left corner.
Then again, Dave, there aren't many serves that are effective when Dave is fresh, so
That's
if
true.
the power serve is your best serve, you're better off just playing to your own strength and trying to play your game.
I think that's a mistake that a lot of people make when they play Chapman. They kind of change their game, and you're better off just worrying about yourself. Don't worry about him at all.
That's a short ball, score 6-11.
If you're going to go down, you want to go down playing your own game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the chance of winning with your alternate game plan are pretty slim.
But especially when you haven't developed it.
Short.
Oh, no way. That wasn't
I
it.
saw it short.
That actually looked short to me also.
Did it look short to you?
I thought it was just over the line.
Both
Same
sides
here.
short.
Yeah. I thought that ball was actually inside the line, didn't even hit the line.
Owen didn't like it, I'll tell you that.
11-36.
I know Owen, as soon as he made contact with that ball, was cringing,
Yeah,
hoping for that ball to make it over.
Now attack Owen. That's it.
Well, he attacked with the wrong shot selection.
That's a good
But
shot.
that
yeah.
one's a good one, and he has that shot too. Now he's trying to pump himself up here.
I don't want to see Owen expend too much energy here pumping himself up. You're better off staying on that
6 serves 11.
level. I'm not one to talk.
Yeah.
So, but
I was just
I'm
going
one
to
to
say
watch.
You're one to stage, actually.
Huh?
Attack. That's it.
That's a beautiful shot there from Owen. That's the best technique he's had there on his fly
Yep,
kill. He
absolutely.
let that ball, he took his time on that ball, let it drop.
I think as well, to be honest with you, Owen kind of came into this match, his shoulders were a bit stiff. You know, obviously he had three hard matches, like, you know, and it's very, very difficult coming out. Chapman, in fairness, had, you know, he had a tough, handy enough couple of games. Like even yourself, Dave, you didn't play that well against him. I know Sean was pretty tired, so, you know, Owen is beginning to open up now a bit, hopefully.
A crowd like that as well.
There's that back wall kill that is really the staple of Dave's game.
7.
Oh,
You'd have to say that.
I've never seen anyone back off the back ball than Paul Brady, of course, but Paul's power hurts everybody. If he doesn't kill it, his power makes a mess of you. But I think consistently, Dave Chapman is unbelievable off the back ball.
You see Dave waits until that last possible second, forces you to commit. Owen had to commit to the left. Dave just hit that ball straight back at himself. And that's the paddle shot I like when he hits with a lot of power there.
12 serving 7.
Scores 12-7.
Hook on dash.
Nice pick up there from Owen.
Chapman is controlling the game pretty good.
Oh,
Beautiful
nice shot right there
from
from Owen Kennedy.
Now, was that an Irish whip there, Desi?
Oh, that was the Irish whip, yeah. That's 6x30 shot. Anytime Owen is in the 6x30, he is deadly with that shot. But I just noticed there that ball actually came up a little bit, and Dave didn't go in after it. I felt that he could have got it, so hopefully maybe he might be a little bit tired.
And you see that right there, Desi. That service return wasn't the greatest, but still up there at Owen's chest level. Dave looked a little slow on that ball. That's the
what I was
first
saying
time
just
in the
before
tournament.
that, yeah. It's just before that, remember I said the ball just came up. Dave didn't go in after it, and I just kind of said to myself, wait a minute here, is his legs maybe not, he's not seem to be following that one, and that one there, definitely, that's 2 in a row now.
Scores 8-12.
At times I've had success against Dave, Desi. There's shots that you hit against Dave normally that you know that's not going to work, but when he's tired, he's not there.
That last shot right there didn't look like he was tired, though. He actually let the ball drop. Now we have a glove timeout.
This gives me a little opportunity here, Dave. Desi, you mentioned the one-off match with Paul Brady and Dave, possibly in New York. I was thinking about that a lot last night. I couldn't sleep preparing for the one-wall event, but I was thinking a lot about that one-off event, and I was actually reading this morning about Jones and Hopkins are fighting. Two of the best boxers, probably of all time, but they fought 17 years ago, and now they've waited. I want to make sure these guys, the two giants in the sport, get together now. They're both in their prime. We don't want to wait to do this 3-4 years from now. Not saying they won't be two of the best players, but if we can do that this spring, and Dave Vincent, I think you might be the man that can make this happen.
Okay, I've actually talked to both of them. They say they both want to do it. So, it's just up to organizing it. Hey, we want to say thanks to the sponsors that have helped out run the WPH Echelon Fireball Handball Classic. Jerry Cronin from Arizona Cottons, as well as Freddie Banfield from Mintech, Doug Clark from Clark Mesh and Associates, and as well as Jeff Heelam from Tucson Rolling Shutters, the big sponsors that have helped put on this event, and all of the volunteers, the donors, and all of those that have helped out make this an amazing event. We do want to put our hands together and thank those people for helping out with this Echelon Fireball Classic. Desi Keegan and Dave Fink. My name is Dave Vincent. We're in the middle of a 2-minute glove change timeout. We're going to get Pat Kirby in the booth to replace Desi Keegan just for a short couple seconds here. Pat Kirby, a legend in Ireland. So we'll get Pat Kirby in here in just a few. We're trying to coordinate that now. Dave Chapman taking a 2-minute glove change, and he is actually wears a couple pairs of gloves, and so it takes him the full 2 minutes, Dave, to actually change those gloves.
That's actually one of those, people complain about the towel timeouts, and this is one of those things that you can't avoid. You certainly never want to let that court stay wet. Dave said the only injury he's ever sustained on the handball court was when he didn't wipe the floor after a long rally of a couple of dives, and he actually tore something in his knee. That was in 1995. So I really don't have a problem with the towel timeouts. I know a lot of people see it as being, maybe sort of tricky or a way to get your breath, but you certainly want to be better safe than sorry.
Well, in Ireland, Irish players get incredibly frustrated because towel breaks are non-existent, really, in Ireland. Now, if you have two top senior players playing, they have a tendency to maybe call a towel because they're used to coming to America, we're used to doing that, and we see the advantage of keeping the floor dry, but sometimes a lot of people in Ireland have a tendency to play on wet floors, and you're right, it's dangerous.
It's very dangerous.
We're back into play here. That ball was just tricky from the get-go there.
That was a brilliant.
Let's listen for the score here, Desi, and then I want to ask you what you told Owen during that 2-minute timeout. Hold on, let's listen for the score.
13 serving 8.
13-8.
I just simply said to him he needs to start getting his first shot, to go for it, just go for his first shot. And then also I just said to him that I felt, looking at Dave, that he didn't push in a couple of times to get the ball.
That ball just jumped off the front wall, kind of funny there, Dave. Maybe had a strange spin.
Beautiful shot there from Dave.
Great shot.
Wouldn't you say that Dave Chapman is most effective when he's running into that exact same moment, running up toward the middle of the court? He's so he has so many different options. He goes to that left wall. Sometimes he paddles it down with a fist down the right wall.
That's the reason you need to get him over to one or the other wall, because you're taking some options away from him.
Watch what this does.
Wow.
Good shot.
That's a beautiful shot. Going back to that shot where Dave's running in, that's a very difficult shot to hit. If you don't have that paddle shot in your arsenal and you're, play like most American players do with the sidearm swing, you're running into a ball that's sort of sitting up. Very hard to time and get your feet in the proper position. You end up, your sweet spot is out in front or either behind. You miss a lot of those shots. When you have that paddle kill, it doesn't have to be perfectly in the sweet spot. You can hit it a little bit out in front of you, a little bit behind you, and still be effective.
Yeah, a lot of the sidearm players go in with that and actually hook it. If they do hit a ball, it actually stays up. Dave actually paddles it like he's holding on to a ping pong paddle.
Well, the problem is you come in with a sidearm swing, and your tendency is going to be to lift it up because you're coming in, the ball's out in front of you, and you
come under it, yeah. But Dave is coming over the ball.
But Dave keeps that ball down flat. It's a 1-minute timeout called from Owen Kennedy. You might want to etch that down on your scorecard. You're watching the WPH Echelon Handball Fireball Classic here, Tucson, Arizona, brought to you by Mintech and Tucson Rolling Shutters, as well as Arizona Cottons, the WPH Echelon. Owen Kennedy from Dublin, Ireland, with his tournament shirt on, versus Dave Chapman. This is the first game. Dave Chapman has the lead.
15 serving 8.
You heard the score, 15-8. Dave's going to sneak one down that right wall here eventually.
That's a big setup. Desi, there's another example. We see the timeout coming in, losing the next point. Since that glove change, Owen has not hit a good shot.
No, he hasn't, and
he misplayed 2 balls with his left hand, overhand. Here's another miss hit. And this is how quickly it happens against Dave. He's 3 or 4 points. He's, sort of in the match, and all of a sudden it's 4 or 5 bad shots in a row, and Dave's
17 serving 8.
17-8.
yeah, Owen is not playing well. He's not playing near as well as he played against Luis. He's not playing near as well against Andy Gardner. But however, I have to admit, he is under serious pressure here because Chapman is punishing him seriously. Owen is at the back of the court all the time, so I think it's a mixture of Chapman's ability and Owen maybe just a bit of fatigue, mental fatigue. So
that's the shot Dave hadn't had in the last 5 years. Actually, one of the reasons he stopped playing, because he couldn't hit that shot with his shoulder. He told me now this is the best his arms felt. He can swing sidearm full.
I think what a lot of people don't tend to realize with David Chapman is that he hits the ball really hard, left and right hand. Some people think he hasn't got a great left hand. I think his left hand is amazing. Now, I thought that was an avoidable there. He walked straight across in front of him.
I agree with you as well.
I'm surprised that wasn't called an unavoidable.
In his defense, I think he might have thought that ball was going to come straight out. It did take a sort of a strange bounce on that deep in the right side wall.
Again, that's another maybe flaw with maybe the Irish game, is that we don't really look for avoidables. It's not really in our psychic to look for it.
I'm looking for them every point, and people are upset with me when I ask for them. So maybe it's
I was upset with you and I played you. I was like, will you shut up and play the game?
You didn't think that one was an avoidable when you stood there on the left?
Okay,
we can talk about that later.
Come on.
Short.
I have to separate you two.
Okay.
Second serve.
It's the second serve. This is the first game.
Owen is changing his serve now. He just just not putting away his chances immediately.
You see, that's another shot there where Dave puts the pressure on, the ball comes right into him. He's facing the front wall. It's up at his chest, and he misses it, and it looks like he's off. That's a tough shot.
Yeah, it is a tough shot, and I think maybe in the back of Owen's mind, he
18-38.
realised that if he doesn't put the ball away immediately, Chapman will punish him. But I've never seen Owen miss as many shots as I've seen him miss today so far.
Hold it.
Bad bounce.
This has really been the sentiment for
Play
years
over.
that everyone plays Dave. I just played bad, but there's a lot of truth to the fact that he makes you play
Oh,
bad.
absolutely. No, there is definitely. That's why I said there, I think it's a mixture of David Chapman playing really, really well and Owen just not punishing the ball.
You see Owen there
He's frustrated now.
looks like he might be ready for the next game here because that was a ball he could have easily adjusted to.
I think Owen is pretty tired too, but I can really see him having a go now in the next game. He needs to, and I hope he does, for his own sake as well. I know his family are watching at home, so hopefully.
You see so much discipline there from Dave. You take a ball that most people would shoot, does he? And he pops it back to the ceiling. He waits for that shot, and that's that.
Yeah, he's waiting for an easier return, but I hope Owen doesn't get so frustrated that he realises that Chapman is a brilliant player, but he's not as good as he's making him out to be. Type of way, like
One
Owen,
possible game point
as you
for
said
six.
in the last few minutes, has set up Dave Chapman time after time after time. And that's why Dave is looking as good as he is now. It's only because Owen is setting him up. Great get.
That was a second bounce after a hit, Dave, and that
I-
game is over.
I felt this way, Desi, that this just is not a good matchup for Owen. Owen plays a similar style to Dave. A lot of times when you play somebody with a similar style as you and they're a little bit better than you, it doesn't go so well. You take someone like Alan Garner who plays a completely different style than Dave.
Yeah.
He might not be quite as good as Dave, but since he's got that contrasting style, he's got sort of a puncher's chance. Owen's in there sort of trying to play Dave's game, which is his game. Dave's a little bit better at it.
Yeah, Dave is by far the best defensive handball player in the world. So I think that is probably the biggest problem for Owen at the moment, is that he's trying to play his own game, but Owen's game is defensive handball when he gets set up. But I have to keep saying he is not putting away the ball as well as he was.
I believe that Dave Chapman is one of the great offensive players in the game of handball. Dave Chapman ends more rallies than anybody on the Pro Tour. It doesn't look like it because he may hit the ceiling more, but as far as actually ending rallies with kills, I don't think anyone ends more than Dave, particularly in the front court and off the back wall with both hands.
Maybe Paul Brady.
You are watching the WPH Echelon Handball Fireball Classic alongside Desi Keegan and Dave Fink. My name is Dave Vincent. Big congratulations and thanks out to Jeff Castor behind the camera here. Game 1 goes to Dave Chapman, 21-8. We have game number 2 coming up in about 4 minutes from right now. I want to say thanks to all of the sponsors that have helped this live webcast and this tournament, like Fred Banfield, Doug Clark, Jerry Cronin from Arizona Cottons, Fred Lewis, Jim Garner, Jim Pichotte, and all of the locals, Joel O'Connor coming from Nashville, Tennessee with a little bit of assistance, as well as Gary Machard and a whole list of other individuals that have helped bring this all together. We're going to take a quick couple-minute timeout. We'll be back in just a few minutes as we read off the results from the opening round of the one-wall tournament that's going on just about 2 miles down the street. We'll have details on that in just a bit. You stick with us. We'll be back right around the corner here from Tucson for the WPH Echelon Fireball Classic. Stay here.
Go on. Come on, buddy. Yeah, in my school we have to do them. Yeah, no, I go to school in my class. Why do we have to do all
Hey Owen, can I see your gloves? You want to change?
And we are back live from the Tucson Racket and Fitness Club for the Echelon Fireball Handball Classic. Something went on there just now with these guys. Dave Chapman is ready to serve. Referee said something to Owen, and I think is making him change his gloves.
Yeah, he made him change his gloves. Owen's gloves are a little bit wet on the top, but I thought they were fine. Like, you know, I think it was more Dave saying it to the referee. But I think that's a good thing, because Owen needs to get riled up here. You know, Owen needs to start getting his fist pumping, start staring at Dave. You know the way Owen kind of stares at you, like, you know, he needs to start getting that back in, because, you know, I'm not going to say Owen is intimidated, but he kind of maybe looks a little bit intimidated, like, so he needs to maybe start bringing it to Chapman.
It's just very interesting to see a 5-minute in-between game timeout and one of the players not actually prepared to play the second game with having fresh gloves on. But I think it's maybe kind of a strange call for come back after 5 minutes, and Dave's a very crafty individual.
Yeah, there's certainly some thought behind it, and I think what he may be doing is that if he gets Owen's glove changed now, halfway through the first game, Owen can't call it glove change, you know, that type of way.
Right.
So.
Okay, let me go ahead and run down some of the first round scores here in the men's one wall. Down the street here at the one wall event, Tyree Bastidas had a bye. He is now going to face Owen Kennedy at 1:15 today. Luis Moreno faces Dave Chapman at that same time. Mike Schneider versus Luis Estrella. It went to Mike Schneider 25-19. He faces Sean Lenning. Dave Fink defeated Luis Cordova but lost to Willie Polanco. So Willie has advanced to the round of 8. Pee Wee Castro will be playing the winner of Danny Perez and Sal Gonzalez. Edgar Medina versus Robert Sastry. Emmett Pichotte versus Jonathan Iglesias. And you are playing Billy O'Donnell today at 12:30.
Yeah, I played my first game at one wall there this morning, so I enjoyed it now. It was very, very hot out in the court, and unfortunately for me, my hair is receding a bit at the top, so I think I got a bit of sunburn.
If you thought it was hot at 9 a.m., wait till you get out there at 12:30.
That's the time I'm playing Billy O'Donnell. I'm not looking forward to it, but I think, you know, I'd be a bit afraid. I think maybe what happened was, see where Owen is receding a bit on the top. I think it's contagious. He must have touched me or something on the head.
We're back into game number 2 here, 0-0.
Chance now. Good shot.
Great get there. Nope.
Very good get.
Dave plays that great shot straight down the right wall because he forces the ball to come back to the left, so he can put himself right in the middle of the court. If you hit that right corner, it comes to him. If you try and pass him to the left, he's one step from that too. It's a smart shot. You won't see Dave give you many balls that come off the side wall that give you the option of hitting it left or right.
You're always working so hard with Dave Chapman. Like, I mean, anyone who has spoken to me and said, you know, what it was like playing with him, I said, it's like if you're a puppet and he's just pulling the strings on your back, telling you exactly where you're going to go. He's just always in control.
That shot right there. That goes along with what you said, Dave, that you believe that he closes out more rallies with that 2-inch high, 3-inch high kill shot. I mean, and Desi backs it up with Paul Brady. Yeah, I agree with that. Also, Alan Garner as well. But Dave, certainly, if you watch how he wins his points, it's not off of...
When you're playing at this level, you're not winning points by hitting balls to the ceiling. You can set up your next shot, which could be some sort of fly kill or back wall kill. But the reality is Dave is ending rallies the majority of the time with his kills.
So I think another disadvantage perhaps for Owen is that we're used to in Ireland, our championship at the moment, it runs over like a 2-month span. Owen plays one game a week in that championship. He's not used to tournament play, whereas all American matches, it's all tournament setup. So Chapman's arms are used to 4 and 5 games every weekend, and sometimes he plays doubles and stuff like that. So I think Owen might be suffering a bit. Like
couldn't really see it.
That was a good call there. Owen was screened.
I don't know. I actually think Owen went the wrong way.
I do too.
The ball was up and slow though.
Yeah, Owen went the wrong way, but I think he went the wrong way because he couldn't see it.
Yeah, that's probably what
He
Owen
went over there to see where the ball was, and I mean, he had to pick one way or the other. That ball was fat. And Owen looked flat.
Yeah. Dave telling me between games that he'd kill a lot more balls off the back wall if he could see the ball. He has that cataracts in his right eye.
He has surgery next week.
Really?
Yeah. He said the ball's just blurry right now for him.
It's a great shot.
Apparently the cataract didn't affect that shot, though. You're watching the WPH Echelon Handball Fireball Classic here, Tucson.
2-0.
Racket Club 2-0, second game. Dave wins the first.
Well, Rocky won the title with one eye.
That's a good point.
Switched to southpaw.
He also lost his trainer during the match, too.
That was actually in 3.
Oh, sorry.
His eyes were good in 3.
There's always something in those Rocky movies.
3-0.
He lost his wife, lost his trainer, lost his eye. He also lost his business in the last one. So maybe potentially his daughter.
Didn't have one.
Huh.
Had a son.
The son.
There's a great hop there from Dave. He reverses that ball into the right wall.
Maybe the son needs to cut his hair. Not trying to make a statement, I'm just saying.
That doesn't make sense.
Kind of feminine.
4-0.
Where'd you buy that jacket, by the way?
Used car lot. Thanks for asking.
You found it in a shopping trolley or something. But the guy did, and you took it off him.
I like when Owen goes to that Irish whip.
It set up this shot. He catches that ball behind him.
The crowd's going to go nuts here after this. There it is. And there's the crowd. They're educated here.
And they're a lot quieter than they were yesterday. I think they were half drunk yesterday, Dave.
There's a timeout called from Owen Kennedy. You're watching the WPH Echelon Handball Fireball Classic men's finals here between Dave Chapman from Welding Spring, Missouri, which is just basically a suburb of St. Louis, and Dublin, Ireland's Owen Kennedy.
This is almost like watching a first-rate orchestra. You know, Dave just has everything tuned up perfectly right now, and I think people are just sort of watching this with reverence.
Yeah, I think, to be honest with you, it's not looking good for him because anything Owen is doing, Chapman has the answer. He has all the answers, but I would love to just see Owen just go for his kill shots. He looks a bit tired. His arms are probably a bit stiff, but I'd love to just see him kill that ball immediately straight away. And let's just see what happens then. But
I haven't seen Owen with many setup opportunities.
Well,
particularly with Dave behind him.
This is the thing, like, you know, but he's going to have to do something very quick in there before this match is over.
Let's listen for the score here from the referee, Luis Moreno.
Time in. Score is 5-0.
5-0. Didn't the first game start somewhat like this?
No, Chapman went off to... Oh, yeah, it was 5-0. Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Unlike Dave Fink, I don't take notes. That's a screen.
Dave unhappy with himself there. That was an easy opportunity to end that rally.
Play a screen on that. 5-0 again.
Right. Look at that control.
What was that? That's to calm himself down, right, Dave?
I do that, and I like it.
But he
doesn't seem to work for you, though.
His actually looks prettier.
It's true.
But I want you to explain what he did with his hands there after this rally ends. And there it is. It does end. Dave's going to call for a towel here. But tell me, Dave, when he put down his hands, that was on purpose to try to calm himself down to let the ball drop?
I've never spoken to him about that, but I think what happens is he's not sure if he's going to take that ball with his left hand or his right hand because it's coming into that right corner. It could catch that right side wall and pop around. He might have to hit it with his left or with his right. I see a lot of players, you know, at the A, even the open level, that ball goes into the corner, and if it comes out like they're not expecting it, it's a whiff. If that ball pops and catches that right side wall, they're expecting to hit with their right, and it comes to their left, they can't even take a swing at it. So I think when you put your hands out like that, you're prepared to hit the ball with either hand.
0 serves 5.
I
This is
also
the second game.
It helps him spread out a little bit to extend more on that back wall shot.
Thought Owen was going to appeal that.
I don't think Chapman needs to spread out much more.
Second serve.
Mistake.
Well, that ball almost did something funky off the back wall there. That's where Dave's dangerous, right there.
I like that shot there from Owen. He cut that one into the right corner, and it came off the side wall with such a strange spin that even Dave was surprised by it, because he hit it with that underspin, and it hit the side wall and just died.
But if we go back to yesterday against Alan Gardner, we seen Owen kill at least 10 or 11 of them into that left corner with that left hand. Where today,
that looked like a skip.
I thought it skipped.
I thought it was a screen, but the referee let him take it.
Owen actually didn't see that because he was behind Dave, and Owen
2 serving 5.
Scores 2-5.
Pleased that Dave gave him that skip. Owen is reading those hooks off the back wall that Dave's giving him a lot better now, Desi.
Absolutely, yeah.
Great shot right there from Chapman.
Surprised Dave wasn't up there for the fly kill there. It's a great shot there from Owen. Dave picks it. Smart shot there from Owen.
That's another thing that I have to admire about David Chapman's game, and it's certainly not something that you would recommend to young people, but he knew there was no point chasing down that ball, whereas a lot of people would chase that down. And next thing, they're absolutely knackered for the next rally, whereas he doesn't. He knows, listen, I'm just going to let it go. It's a really smart thing to do.
3-5.
He knows the best he can do if he does get that ball is just barely get it back to the front wall. And
wow, nice shot right
we'll
there.
see a timeout here from Dave.
Yep. There it is. Dave's going to change his shirt, going to call a timeout. You're watching the WPH Echelon Handball Fireball Classic at the Tucson Racket Club.
He actually put that shirt on too soon between games, and it was already soaked through while he was putting his gloves on.
That's a good point.
That's a little piece of advice for those listening at home. Wait until the last second to change that shirt between games.
Opening round of the Men's One Wall Open Championship. The pro event down the street at the WPH One Wall Courts is in the books, with Tyree Bastidas getting that by Owen Kennedy as well. They're going to face each other in the round of 16. Luis Moreno and Dave Chapman also a bye. They're into the round of 16. Mike Schneider versus Luis Estrella. That came out with Mike defeating Luis 25-19. He faces Sean Lenning at 12:30 today. Dave Fink, you defeated Luis Cordova and then played Willie Polanco already. And Willie defeated you 25-19? 15, sorry. It was Pee Wee Castro getting a bye. Danny Perez and Saul Gonzalez, that one's being played right now. Edgar Medina with the big upset already today, defeating the New York Monster Raul Rantian. Edgar Medina, the 22 seed, defeating the number 11 seed. He faces Robert Sastry now at 11:45, which is coming up in about 15-20 minutes from now. Emmett Peixoto over Danny Cordova. He faces John Iglesias because he defeated Bill Michelis. Desi Keegan, you went past Alex Pastor, and then Billy O'Donnell got the bye in the bottom.
I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I know Billy's really good, but I was setting Billy out in the nightclub last night, and I think I come off better out of
Well,
that.
if you saw him at the nightclub, that meant you were also at the nightclub.
That's what I mean, but I don't think he does.
Score is 4-5. Play is now resumed. Dave Chapman wearing his tournament shirt.
That's nice.
Don't get the two confused. I know it's kind of hard when you look at him there.
Second serve.
Dave Chapman and Owen Kennedy here.
Great reverse there.
I like that shot from Dave. Owen tracks it down, though.
I think that ball is wet. It kind of stopped there. Dave's left hand.
That's a great rally there from Owen. It's really starting to dictate play here. I think Dave is a little bit winded right now. Dave actually calling his timeout, came in and lost the next point. We already know what those timeouts do for momentum. 0.
Well, in the first game, Chapman called a timeout and he came back in and scored 2 quick points.
Well, I think that was a glove change.
Can't disagree with me.
I've got a sample I'm working on right now.
Owen Kennedy looks really good right now, and Dave looks really flat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dave's legs starting to catch up with him.
I think Dave maybe just going through a little lull here right now. That'll happen periodically
6
throughout a
serving
match.
5.
Owen with his first lead here.
6-5, second game. I like that serve. Dave gets it back, but Owen's going to punch it in the corner. Oh, that wasn't played over.
Nice call. That's a great call there from
That's
Luis
good,
Moreno.
right,
Lets
yeah.
the play
It was
unfold.
nearly unavoidable, almost unavoidable as well. And again, that ball came up off the sidewall. If that was Tony Healy or Paul Brady or any other poor player, they would have went after that and got it.
7
But Chapman let it
5.
go, so I agree with you, Dave. He definitely has winded.
7-5.
Short.
Chapman.
Dave leaning to the
Owen
right.
seems fresher than he's been the entire
Yeah.
match right now.
Second
But
serve.
this
It's not a
insane.
good sign for Dave.
No, see, Owen went in and he was a bit stiff, you know what I mean, but he's loosened up now and he's looking really good. Except for the shorts, of course. But I spoke to him about that last night, but he said his girlfriend loves them, so what can he do?
Every one of those ceiling balls hitting the glass cover on that light. Listen to this. Oh, there's a miss. And a miss hit.
Great shot there from Owen. Nearly slid that ball straight down the wall. It just caught that side wall.
I think Chapman is looking at his gloves there. He's got glove change. He's playing a lot of psychology here.
Got a minute. Score is 8 serving 5.
Got a minute. Actually, it's a 2-minute glove change if that's what it was called. 8-5 now. Owen up by 3.
I think that might have been a timeout. He didn't show the referee his gloves. I think that might have just been a timeout.
Okay.
He might have been uncomfortable with the pair he was wearing because he did just change them not too long ago.
Thank you for tuning in to this live webcast. Please do join the WPH at WPHpass. That's PASS.com. Get your membership and support the organization bringing you these pro events. You're watching the Echelon Fireball Handball Classic here live over the internet alongside Desi Keegan from Ireland and David Fink in the webcast booth. Jeff Castor behind the camera. Dave Chapman wins the first game over Owen Kennedy, 21-8. And now Owen's got as many points as he did in that first game, Dave.
Owen looks good right now.
He does. He had a bit of a banana there too. I mean, I'm looking at Owen a long time, and when I see him doing his old routine, I know he's confident. You know that he kind of does things subconsciously, and I know by looking at him that he's looking very strong. He's looking confident. This is going to be interesting to finish this game.
That's actually another myth that athletes have bought into, the eating something in the middle of a match that has no effect on anything. It takes too long for your body to break that down for that to have any effect.
But this is what I'm saying. It's just a habit, and when Owen is
Okay.
doing that, he only does it when he's going wild. You know, I don't know what it is. It's just, you know, we all have our own quirky ways.
Well, this match might go a long time, actually, Mr. Fink. I mean, if he forces a long game here, we saw a game yesterday that went an hour and 15 minutes, and that would then, if he could win that, go into a tiebreaker.
He could get the benefit of that
Maybe
banana
the
at that
benefit
time.
from the banana back in the tiebreaker. Maybe he's like Joe Morgan in baseball, where he swings and misses on a curveball on purpose in the first inning so he can hit a home run or a double in the third.
No,
You love that story.
I don't think he planned that, to be honest with you. But it sounds good.
It's good for TV. Since this won't be on TV, I don't know why I said it.
There's a lot of people back in Ireland watching, so
That's good. It's like TV then. Dave Chapman actually did take 2 minutes there. That wasn't 1 minute.
Don't know if that was considered to be a timeout by Dave or if that was a glove change.
Score is 8 serving 5.
We're just not sure. We may never know.
8-5.
Short.
That's the serve. Owen closed out the match against Luis Moreno with
yeah,
that,
he caught it.
the short one behind him.
But the thing I like about that serve, though, I know it was short, but Owen is
Second
hitting
serve.
it well again. He is actually hitting the ball good now, so hopefully he keeps it going. I think he's trying to get Dave down out of that route. Chance here.
Boy, Dave read that correctly, and Owen missed it.
Owen changed his mind there at the last second.
Yeah, he likes that tap shot around the corner there, but if I was him, I would have shot the fist and drove it straight down the right.
Owen is actually tackling that return of serve pretty good, isn't he, Dave?
I like that return a lot. That's the return that Nadi Jr. uses a lot against Dave Chapman. Has a lot of success using that return. You know that the next shot's going to the ceiling, but at least the return's not coming off the back wall.
Wow, look at Owen.
That's
He's
very
just
tiring there, getting spun around there, does he?
twisted into a little pretzel there.
Oh yeah, he definitely won't like that. It's painful, that.
Well, Dave has so many options. You've seen him punch that ball down the right wall or paddle it into that corner, and that time he just poked it right back at Owen.
You just don't know what he's going to do. I think Owen is having way more success with the straight kill today rather than the corner kill. Whereas against Luis and against Alan, it was all corner kills. Whereas I think David just seems to read the corner kills really, really well. So I think straight kills he'd want to stick at.
I agree with you there, Desi. Owen can straighten that ball down the line.
It's a natural hook, you see. It just
Right.
kind of straightens out down along.
Do you use that Irish whip to straighten the ball out as well?
Well, Owen is kind of hitting his side arms. If he's at the back of the court, he tends to hit it underhand. But yeah, most people hit it to straighten it out.
We heard the score 8-6. From back here, it looks like every one of these balls should come off the back wall, but they're just perfectly placed, and that one wasn't, and Owen took care of it.
Yeah. I think Owen is definitely way more success with a straight shot there. So
Owen's blasted that ball there, does he? Really got himself behind it. It was a rocket.
Being a 6x30 player, Owen has a lot of natural power there. And again, like Chapman, you'd think because of their stature and the way they play the game that they don't hit the ball that hard, but from playing the two of them, they hit the ball hard when they want to.
From playing you hit the ball hard too.
Yeah, sometimes.
That's a miss hit, and Owen's actually saying, I'm sorry.
He doesn't
That's
mean
actually
it.
a ball Dave would have had in the first game and re-killed. He's a half a step slow right now.
This is it, like, yeah, but I know Owen said sorry, but I'm telling you, he doesn't mean one bit of it.
He doesn't want to take it over. He's not that sorry. You know, that half a step with Dave is the difference between him winning 21-8 and him losing 21-12.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
That half step is really for anyone's game, but particularly with Dave. If he's able to make that half a step explosion sooner, he's able to get to those re-kills and roll them out. Same thing with those pass shots.
10-6.
Scores 10-6.
I think Owen needs to definitely get a couple more points here, but Owen is looking very, very strong. Like, he's moving well. You can see the way Owen is walking. Chapman is going very, very slow at the moment, but hopefully if Owen can get to 12, 6-13, 6-13, 7 perhaps, I think we could see a tiebreaker.
Dave really hasn't shown any signs here, does he, in the last 15 minutes, the last 10 points played, of being able to end rallies.
Oh, that ball just checks up back there and
This
dies
is
off the back wall.
Very similar to what we saw in the first game. Dave completely controlling the action, then ending every rally with his kills and pass shots. Now it's Owen.
Well, actually, you saw about 3 shots back. Dave Chapman had a paddle into the right corner, and normally he bends his knees and pushes that ball in, and he just stood there and used all arm.
Well, I think there's something important to note is that when we watched Alan Garner yesterday, Dave, you made the point that when he was tired, he was just skipping the ball up. Whereas Chapman, when he's tired, he doesn't skip the ball. He just hits it too high. So,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, so I think that's an indicator there that Chapman is finding the pace, struggling.
And when that's a great get there from Owen. Almost had it.
Almost
nice
had it.
shot there from
Actually,
Dave.
Mr. Fink, Desi brings up something that's absolutely true. When Dave Chapman gets tired, his game comes up, and when other players get tired, their game goes down.
Well, actually, when you say goes up, you mean his kills are up.
Yeah, his
Not his
kills are-
level of play.
Yeah, right, sorry. 6 serves 10.
That's true. There's nothing worse for Dave than his paddle shots left a foot high, because those are just big setups. Here's another setup for Owen. Owen's still not getting behind that ball in the back
He needs
wall.
to put this away. Like, he knows himself, though. He knows himself, so he let that go just as long as he starts putting them away, because I think maybe Owen is perhaps going to the right a little bit too much. Because Chapman, I can see him taking a half a step to the right, so if he was maybe mix it up a small bit more, I think he'd get a lot more success.
7-10. Second game. Oh, that ball bounced weird.
That's 2 exceptional roof shots there by Chapman.
He's just missing that. Didn't matter, though. Owen Kennedy mishit his.
The only flaw I've seen in Owen's game is when Dave pushes him back and hits a pass that comes off the back wall, Owen doesn't follow that ball all the way back and ends up catching the ball behind him on what could be a setup for him. We'll see if he can make that adjustment. It's hurt him here quite a bit in this match.
Dave touched Owen on the way in there. So Dave's now calling his own match.
8 serving 10, played over.
See that? Owen is missing all them left-handers today.
Oh, and he catches up to that. That's sort of a 3-wall shot from Dave Chapman.
Owen gets himself right back into this point. I like that shot.
Back to the roof.
Oh, come on.
He forced that one a little bit, Desi.
Yeah, he's going to the right, just that bit too much. I think if he went to the left there, he would have had more success.
You know, much tougher to put that ball away from chest height after 30 shots in a rally, particularly. He's been on a string, front and back. You know, that shot was pretty much all upper body because he's hitting that with an open stance.
Yeah.
The score is 9-10.
It's a comeback by Chapman. Still not killing that ball, Chapman, yet.
Oh, looked like Dave was on that. He just skipped it in.
That's actually the shot we saw Dave miss against Naughty Jr. in Alaska in that first game at 2020. Dave missed that exact same shot, ended up losing 21-20 and lost the match.
I think you watched too much handball if you can remember that.
10 serving 9.
I have a good memory.
10 serves 9.
I've got a vault upstairs.
You should see what else is in that vault, Desi.
I don't want to know.
Score's now
It's a
11
steel
to 9.
trap for all useless information. Can't retain anything, any value.
So you're there then?
Haven't left there.
Okay. Just going to stay there. It's the WPH Echelon Fireball Handball Classic alongside Desi Keegan from Ireland and Dave Fink from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. My name is Dave Vincent. We appreciate the fact that you are here watching this live webcast today.
11 serving 9.
11 serves 9.
That was an important point there for Owen to score, Desi.
Absolutely, he had worked very hard for that, and Chapman actually went down on the floor. So again, it just goes to show you the mentality of Chapman. When he works really hard in the rally, he either takes a timeout, a glove change, a shirt change, or gets a towel in there.
That ball was tricky.
Not a good shot there from Owen. Dave does not make him pay.
Well, you know, Owen's leaving that ball in that right corner up, and like you said, he has much more success when he goes down the right wall with the slider as opposed into that
It's
right
very
wall.
difficult to keep that ball down the right wall when the ball comes across your body. The tendency with that swing is the ball is going to come back towards the middle, and that's what we saw there.
There's Dave putting his arms out, though.
It's a great shot there from Dave.
That time you saw Dave flip his arms out, and it had nothing to do with the ball coming around the back corner.
I didn't see it. Are you appealing that?
Owen's appealing a bad bounce on the back wall for Dave's back wall shot.
10
Strange.
serves
That's strange,
11.
but he's in America. He's not going to get that call here anyway. Maybe in Ireland we give it to him.
I've never seen anybody get that call.
Why would it make a difference of where you're at?
Because we cheat and make sure he wins.
Huh. Just wanted to hear you say it.
Yeah.
It's on the record. That one's actually going to be a
11
quote.
serves 11.
Dave gets a little fortunate there with that 2-wall pass, catches the crack. He hit that one a little shorter on the sidewall than he wanted to. That's a great shot there from Owen. Dave digs it.
It's going to be a setup. Watch his legs. Now Dave Chapman has a lead again at 12-11.
You have 2 left.
Such a smart shot there from Dave. He drove it right at Owen's feet off the side wall. Unplayable from Owen's spot on the court there.
I don't think Owen is going to be up for too much one-ball today.
Now the timeout called from Owen Kennedy, 13-11. Hopefully we can get Pat Kennedy to come over and talk to us. Pat Kirby, excuse me, to come over and talk to us. Pat Kennedy lives in Ohio. Owen Kennedy, Pat Kirby, Pat Kennedy. Too many handball players around here.
13-11.
You're watching the WPH Echelon Handball Fireball Classic with Dave Fink here and Dave Chapman in the court, alongside his partner for the men's finals, Owen Kennedy.
Thought Mr. Kirby might be over there giving Mr. Kennedy some advice, but looks like Desi's taking care of that. Starting to think, Dave, that maybe Pat Kirby's just not going to be joining us. That was our third attempt.
It's almost as if Owen Kennedy is one of Pat Kirby's kids. He just doesn't want to break away.
13 serves 11.
13 serves 11. Now Owen come back in here. Here's a big setup. Wow, Dave really went down almost on one knee to get that.
I think Dave knows that if he pushes the next 4 or 5 points, he's probably going to win this match.
That's 6 unanswered points now for Dave Chapman.
That was his best backwall shot of the match. His knee was nearly on the ground. His hand nearly hit the ground. That ball was a flat roll.
Good shot from Dave Chapman. That's a nice return, though, from Owen. These guys are playing good ball today.
Tremendous match.
That's a great shot by Chapman.
See what this does.
Put a nice hook on that ball between his legs. There's a miss hit.
That ball stayed down.
You see Dave just crush that ball. Usually he comes in with that paddle shot there. That time he takes that ball with a sidearm swing and just crushed it.
But well, again, you know, Owen is trying to read the paddle shot, so it's just another weapon that Chapman has. I'm absolutely amazed with Chapman's move play today. Everything, it's not even reaching the backcourt. And that's a very, very fast ball and court. Good shot.
And there's a much needed side out.
He needs to start pushing it now a bit. He has to start getting a couple more
11
points.
serving 15.
11 serves 15.
Owen is going to go for the crack shots here now.
Short.
Referee's going to have to call that as quick as he possibly can. Dave is actually in on his dive, though, no matter what.
Second serve.
Oh, that ball's just dead back there.
Dropped, yeah, absolutely dropped. A very, very good serve.
Dave misjudged that ball right there.
That's a good serve.
12 serving 15.
I don't think you're going to misjudge this one.
Side out.
Not a good time for Nair.
No,
Right there,
definitely not. I just feel that Owen just isn't getting the rub of the green at the moment.
Nice
Great
shot
shot.
right there from Dave Chapman. Left-handed underhand paddle, left corner. Listen for the score.
16 serving 12.
16-12. Dave Chapman on an 8-1 run right now. Looked like his legs were shots, and all of a sudden we've got a new Dave Chapman right now. Even off balance, Desi, Dave puts that ball perfect up to the roof, doesn't he?
He's absolutely. I mean, anyone who I talked about him, I can.
Oh, look at that shot right there from Dave Chapman.
Like that's why I'd love to see him play Paul Brady when he's fresh, because you know if anyone could trouble him, you know the Tony Healy type of style of play troubles Paul obviously, but I think Chapman would trouble him. I just think Paul would have too much,
17
way too much left and right hand. But I would love to see that match one-off game in New York whenever it'll be.
Well, yesterday you went on record and said that Dave would score combined 11 points.
11 in each game, I think.
Oh, each game. And you like watching games that are 21-11, 21-11?
But it's not that. I just think.
Oh.
I just think
Just
that.
for basis of comparison, though, Owen just scored 16 and 11 off Paul Brady. He's going to score considerably less here in this
Played
match.
over
Yeah, but I think it's going back to
12.
what you were saying there earlier on about Alan Gardner. When Owen played him, Alan Gardner would have a similar game to Paul Brady, whereas Owen is playing a guy now who plays like himself, except that Chapman plays us better.
Well, this one is not over. A point given to Dave Chapman
Looked
there.
like that should have been an avoidable.
Yeah, but I think maybe subconsciously Owen might be just, you know, he's just really incredibly frustrated at the moment. He knows he hasn't played well today, unfortunately.
18-12. Owen looked really good there toward the middle of that second game, and then all of a sudden it's back to that sort of nervousness that he had at the first game. Remember, Des?
Yeah, I think it's more a case that Chapman got his second window.
That was a bad bounce there. Owen played it.
I think that was a wrist. He did wrist.
No, it was a fist shot that he just kind of cranked around. But you're right, it was deep back. Oh, that ball.
That took off.
Well, there's rounded corners here, and meaning there's not a true corner in these courts. You kind of hit close to that corner, and you'll see stuff like that happen.
12 serving 18.
12-18. This game is completely not over yet.
You see, when Owen goes for that wraparound, we spoke about last night, I think he was hoping maybe to get a bit lower, because all David is doing is stepping to the right and putting straight into the roof down to Owen's left overhand. Immediately Owen is on the defensive. You know, so I think with that wraparound, if you watch Paul Brady hits them wraparounds 4 or 5 foot high. So you're immediately kind of taking a half overhand shot.
18-12.
Bad bounce.
I actually predicted the scores of this match, Desi, to be 7 and 14. I have the text message here to prove it.
Did you?
Yep.
He actually mailed it to himself. He has not opened the envelope. And
Actually,
Chris Angel's actually jealous of this little thing that he's got. Look at that.
It's dated and timed last night.
Been stamped. United States Post Office.
I think you've too much time in your hands, Dave.
Could be.
19 serving 12.
19 serves 12.
There's Owen. That's a pretty simple shot.
Look at that get right there from Dave Chapman.
That was a great catch.
That was really amazing. He actually kind of dove before the ball developed.
I'm surprised Dave went for that ball, Desi, leading 19-12 here.
Well,
There wasn't much he could do with that shot other
But
than
see, the
just-
thing is, what I was thinking about there, and I'm just going to say it now because I wasn't too sure, but I think sometimes Dave tends to throw himself on the floor just to get that another timeout. You know, like he done it there earlier on, just after a hard rally. He kind of went down, even though he had no hope of winning the rally. He went down, got the towel in immediately. Next thing, a minute later, he's fresh, he's back in. And I think this is kind of a timeout he's already gotten now. He's 19, he needs to get 2 more.
I think he saves a lot more energy not hitting the floor and not using the towel than getting himself up off that floor.
Did he do that one to buy some more time too?
Probably not, like for sure. Listen,
I think his
Americans-
instincts are so fast that Dave just is just a different person. You know, he has such great instincts. To us, it looks like he might be buying some time, but frankly, he doesn't think he can't get to any ball. You know, so
That would be some incredible split-second decision-making ability to think,
Think about all of that.
I might not get to this ball, but I'll go to the ground to get the towel.
Well, it's habit. I mean, the guy is, what, 35 years of age now? He's on the Pro Tour a long time. And we all know Dave Chapman will absolutely take every inch. He will take it.
We're going to see a timeout here from Dave.
Or a towel.
Maybe both.
Look at that towel went in. And I guarantee that floor is it wouldn't be that wet.
This actually is the type of floor that doesn't get very wet.
It doesn't.
You see some
Yeah.
floors pick up a lot of sweat. This one, not one of them. I'm surprised it doesn't. It does have that gloss over top of it. Usually that's the kind that stays wet. This floor, for whatever reason, stays pretty dry.
If you're wiping the floor that long, there's no, it's not that wet.
Well, you know, it's difficult to see the sweat on this floor because it's so shiny.
It's so shiny, yeah.
And particularly with his bad eye.
okay, stop it.
Okay.
Serving 19.
13 serves 19. Oh, and he gets that ball back. Dave really pushing here, Desi. I'm kind of surprised in a way.
Well, he is 2 points from winning the match, Dave.
And $4,000, so I think he's a bit excited. I've never seen Owen Kennedy make as many mistakes, and that's a credit to David Chapman. That I think Owen is under a phenomenal amount of pressure.
I don't know if you've seen Owen hit so many balls with his overhand left from 40 feet.
Yeah.
And there is a timeout called right here. The crowd likes hearing and seeing these guys here at the Tucson Racket Club. It's the WPH Echelon Fireball Handball Classic in Tucson, Arizona, brought to you by the World Players of Handball. Please join the organization and get your all-access pass membership. You could sponsor a junior as well. Your $20 will get a full-fledged membership to a junior player. You could either select the player that you want, or we'll find one for you. And they'll be able to watch the live webcasting, as well as the online magazine. DVDs will be sent to them, tips from the pros, and the best thing is we put the player in contact with their sponsor. So what we're finding out, Desi, is, for example, let's just use Doug Clark here, who's one of the local handball players. He sponsored about 10 of these kids, right? Each month, the WPH contacts the kids and asks them if they need anything, if they want anything, how they're doing, how their game is. They come back with positives. Some of those kids come back and say, you know what, I wish I had a pair of gloves. We go back to the sponsor and say, hey, do you want to help out? Some of them say yes, some of them say no. If not, WPH jumps in and intervenes and gets them some gloves.
That's a very good initiative, because that was something Pat Kirby spoke to myself and Owen about. He said he was talking to a couple of people in Ireland there last month when he was home, and he said, what are they doing for young people? Because a pair of gloves in Ireland is €25, which is like $30. And then, of course...
nice shot right there from Owen Kennedy.
Dave missing a number of opportunities to end that rally, and including his patented fish shot there that he left about 20 feet off the back wall.
Go ahead.
And then, of course, an Irish ball is like €7 or $50. It's like $10.
Right.
So Pat Kirby was making the point, well, as a national organisation, should the Irish Handball Council not be maybe trying to subsidise for juvenile development?
That was a miss hit.
Yeah, you're right. I think that's a good point, that what the WPH are doing, absolutely.
Strange air there from Owen, Desi.
Yeah,
a pretty routine shot
I
there.
thought maybe a small bit of a hinder there off the back wall. Like it kind of went straight out to his right hand.
I think he just was a little too far from it.
I like that shot from Dave. He's still pushing Owen back and forth.
Here's a setup.
Oh, there was contact right there.
Contact? All right,
Dave won't disagree there.
Dave knows it was contact.
19 serving 14.
Now telling
Dave
Owen
just-
sorry.
Not putting that ball away down the right now.
No, I think Chapman's a small bit tired, but unfortunately I think Owen maybe might be a bit too far behind.
It's a smart shot there from Owen. Nice get.
Oh, look where Dave Chapman puts that ball.
Oh, unfortunately, that ball merged with the right side wall there. That was a huge setup.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unfortunately there for Dave, it just slid right on that wall.
Like, I mean, it's a great credit to Owen that he's still working. Absolutely, he's going right here to the end, and I think the crowd really appreciate that.
Just drying off the ball right here. Watching the WPH Echelon Fireball
19
Classic.
serving 14.
19-14.
Mistake.
There's another setup. See Dave's legs.
Dave actually overhitting some of these shots, which is unusual.
Then Owen makes a hand air on that right wall. Owen actually is throwing the ball back pretty far, Desi. It's is that being tired?
I think he's very, very frustrated. He knows he's not playing well. He's trying to keep the ball safe.
Here's game and match serves 14 here. This is for $4,000 in cash.
The money's actually sitting right here out in front of us, just like at a poker tournament.
Brought it in a briefcase.
20 serves 14.
Owen Kennedy has a chance to win a couple $1,000s here, or will if he loses. It's going to set up.
That's a bad bounce. Hit the light.
That ball wasn't going to come back too far. It would have been a setup there for Owen, but
Well, it went straight down, straight back
20
up.
serving 14.
Referee had to call that. 20 serves 14. This is possible game and match.
that should be it. It is.
Nope.
Okay.
And it is not. Owen Kennedy now at 14 to 20.
You have 1 left.
Well, you know what? Give you some credit. Those balls have been checking up over there, and they haven't been coming off that back wall.
14 serving 20.
14
The
to
first time I
20.
get credit is when I'm wrong. Interesting.
I was getting avoidable there, I think. Chapman's not going to be happy here, I don't think.
I'm surprised about that. There was some contact over on that left. Maybe not contact, but certainly there was a player avoiding another one during a swing. That was a little bit of congestion. You're watching the WPH Echelon Fireball Handball Classic here live on the internet during the live webcast. Tucson, Arizona, alongside Desi Keegan and Dave Fink. My name is Dave Vincent. This is game number 2. First one to Dave Chapman, 21-8. Here, though, Owen's just still kind of staying in. 14 to 20, I believe, is the score. Is it 15 to 20?
15? Yeah.
6 points away from forcing a tiebreaker.
Usually Dave's such a great
15,
closer. He's had a
20.
number of opportunities. Hasn't executed them.
Great shot by Owen.
Dave Chapman looks like he's hitting that ball so hard to the ceiling with his fist, and it does not come off the back wall.
That's avoidable. That's an avoidable.
You have the whole court.
Well, if he had the whole court, why did he hit him? So,
That was an obvious avoidable
yeah, that
call.
was an avoidable.
There's no question about it. I don't think Dave would argue if he saw it on replay. He stepped
Right
clearly
into
right
him.
in
He
front of
stepped
him.
right into him.
15 serving 20.
That could have been a case there, Desi, of
Americanism?
Owen took that. Well,
America versus Ireland.
Owen took that Irish whip.
Yeah,
and
right.
I don't think Dave was used to that.
Yeah, Luis Moreno, the referee, has a lot of American pride up there.
Yeah.
He's
But,
actually a resident of Mexico.
Second serve.
He's not even an American.
So you're there.
I'm not going to leave there.
that's
I
an
just find
avoidable.
that argument just.
That's another avoidable there.
I just find it a more or less a referee that doesn't know.
Ah, yeah, no, we're only having a bit of crack. And that crack, I mean, is by fun. Just in case you're thinking something else.
And I was.
Owen is finishing strong here.
Owen should have taken that ball out of the air. This rally would have been over. That's why I'd like to see him use that Irish whip when he merges up against that left side wall. I think that's a big advantage.
Going back to what you're saying there, Dave, like you said Chapman mightn't have read the Irish whip and he stepped in, but that's not our problem. He still kind step
Right.
in. Like,
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm just. I don't think Dave deliberately would step.
Oh, no, absolutely
directly
not.
in front.
No,
I think
no.
Dave was expecting to swing about a half a second sooner. And
Yeah.
When you take that step back with the whip, Dave was trying to get himself in position. Doesn't mean it wasn't an avoidable. It was.
Yeah.
Here's the third attempt to win this one, 20 to 15.
I'm surprised
Possible
that
game.
return right there.
Possible game and match. And almost. There it is. Dave Chapman wins the first ever Red Ball Championship. This is the Red Fireball, and Dave Chapman is the very first pro player to win in the men's division, defeating Owen Kennedy. A very well-fought match, 21-8, 21-15. Getting a round of applause from the crowd here at the Tucson Racket Club. The Echelon WPH Fireball Handball Classic, guys, in retrospect now, watching the action here. Owen Kennedy had one heck of a showing in this tournament, having to go through Billy O'Donnell, and then he faced
Luis Moreno.
then Alan Garner, and then Dave Chapman. He had one heck of a tough go at it here in the bracket.
Absolutely. Like, I mean, he an exceptionally hard tournament. Again, traveling over on Monday night, getting here on Monday night, training with a completely different ball Tuesday and Wednesday. Owen has had an exceptional tournament. So I think I'd love to see Owen come over more because I think he would do really, really well over here.
Well, you talk a lot about that difficult draw, but any tournament you play here in the United States, you're going to have to go through those players if you want to win this championship. Dave, also a difficult draw. He played 3 guys in the top 10 in the world, including a guy in the top 20 in the first round. So, you know, the draw is tough for everybody. You don't win these tournaments without being the best.
That's for certain. Dave Chapman had to go through Tyree Bastidas.
He bet him 1 and 3 or something.
And then defeated you, Dave Fink, in the next round. After that, it was Sean Lenning, and then he defeated Owen Kennedy. Now, for a lot of people that haven't seen Owen play here in the States, I guess the impression that he left on us is that he is a potential top 5, or if he isn't number 3 or 4 or something like that. I mean, it's very hard to predict just one tournament, but he certainly did show us that Owen Kennedy lives up to the reputation that he has built over there in Ireland at the 60x30 code. So big kudos out to him. Also a great gentleman. He's going to go onto the court right now with Fred Lewis. We're going to catch this ceremony as we catch this in progress, where Fred Lewis is going to award the cash and thank the players. Let's go over to the court right now with Fred Lewis and Owen Kennedy. Let's see if you can hear this.
Okay, we just witnessed one of the great spectacles of all time. Tremendous final match. I'd like to present a check to the second place runner-up, Owen Kennedy from Ireland. Owen, congratulations.
Crowd putting their hands together for Owen Kennedy here.
Owen, you had a great tournament. Came up a little short today. Came from the 6th seed to get to the finals. Haven't been on a 20x40 much in recent years, but I know you trained hard for this tournament. You want to tell us a little bit about your motivation to get back into the 20x40 game?
20x40.
From my perspective, I thought you had a great tournament. I was very impressed with how you played throughout the tournament. You beat some very tough American players, Luis Moreno and Juan Bombshell, Alan Gardner. So I think from my perspective, this was a great tournament, and hope to see you at the Nationals this year and future WPH pro events.
I want to thank all the sponsors.
Okay, you're welcome. Credit to the game, Owen. Thanks again.
That's Fred Lewis talking to Owen Kennedy now to Dave Chapman.
And now, we have the winner. This particular young fellow has been around for a few years. Made a remarkable comeback after being off 3 or 4 years. David Chapman is the winner, and first place, $4,000. Congratulations. David, looking a little slim there. What happened?
I don't know. I just drink beer and wine every day, and that seems to keep me winning. When I train, I lose, so I just stick to the beer and wine and steak, and it seems to help me and Desi out quite a bit.
David,
You think he's joking?
it's been a long comeback for you. I know you've been focused on this achievement. How do you feel going into this year's Nationals?
Well, my right arm is feeling a lot better than when I took 4 years off of playing, so it's I can swing hard and make such a big difference on my back ball shots and my kill shots. I really felt good this tournament coming in, and in between matches didn't cramp up, and so I'm definitely ready to win the 1-wall now. What's that, about an hour? I'm ready to play.
Be after it a little bit.
That's Dave Chapman.
From my perspective, this was what I felt was a clinic in percentage handball. You played great defense. You shots, were as great as they've ever been. And again, we look forward to having you back. I hope you continue to play and continue this comeback because you're a great credit to the game. So once again, congratulations.
I want to thank all the sponsors too in the WPH for putting this event on. Dave Vincent, Fred Lewis, just a great tournament. Have the Irish guys come over. All the Americans are very excited when the Irish guys come over for a big event like this. We're all thankful that you guys had this great event.
Okay,